Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans? Oh! You're talking about shenanigans, right?
Are you sure you're as ready as it's gonna get?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then if you're ready, then I'm just gonna go ahead and say, welcome to
Podcast.
And Random Heroes Cheeky Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
My name's Jesse, also known as the Random Hero.
My name's Nick, aka Punkass.
And we're trying something new today. We have both previous guest Ben and new guest Barbie in the studio with us today.
Woohoo.
Yeah!
Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
We're all awake, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the earlier shows we've ever done, and nobody is awake for it right now. But thank you guys. You did this on really short notice, so I really appreciate that a lot.
Really short
Yeah, it's
notice.
my fucking Sunday.
And you are staring daggers at me right now. I'm a little nervous.
I'm pretty good at that.
You've met Barbie
Christ.
before.
Yes. And surprisingly, it's only been like, what? I've only known you about a year now, right?
How long have you been at Sidekicks?
Two and a half, somewhere in there.
Well, you guys work together, right? You work
Yeah,
at the
they
same place?
do.
Yeah, we've worked together a long time.
Now, did you guys know each other before you worked together?
No.
No. So you're like new work besties since you started
Well,
working
Work
together?
buddies?
We were friends. I mean, our friendship kind of grew from the coworker relationship, and after a period of time, I actually was needing a place to stay, and so they had a spare bedroom, her and one of the guys she was dating at the time, and so I moved in there, and because of that, we were roommates, and our friendship grew, of course. And I moved out of there because my band was rehearsing in Kent, and
Ooh.
a girl that lived out there offered me a place close to where my band rehearsed, so I made the incredibly intelligent decision to move to Kent.
Ugh.
And I never thought I would be so happy to get back to Everett
Kent's worse than Everett, huh?
by leaps and bounds. I didn't say that. If you're in Kent and you're listening to this, I'm not talking your town. It just wasn't for me.
People who live in Kent know what they're doing. They have to. They know that place is just a shithole, you know.
I'm not going to call it a shithole. Some people love it. It's not for me. Not Little Ben environment.
Not Little Ben environment. Now, Barbie, have you always lived in this kind of area, or have you ever branched out a little bit?
Are you from Washington originally? No. Did you know that?
I think I knew that at one point, but I'm totally drawing a blank right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm from upstate New York.
Whoa.
yes, that's
Docks.
right. You still have
we're-
family out there, yes.
The Adirondacks. Redneck as fuck.
Wow.
I also lived in Montana for 11 years, and I moved out here 10 years ago officially this month.
What's in Montana? Anything? Is there anything in
Trees, mountains, and bears.
Strip clubs?
And
Oh.
strip clubs.
There's strip clubs in Montana?
One of them got shut down because of prostitution, which is the first strip club I had ever been to.
Oh, wow.
Did you see any of that kind of weird shit going on there?
No.
No? So have you been to strip clubs around here to compare it to? Was a Montana
None
one
in
rowdy?
Washington. I went to Mary's in Portland.
Or? Okay. They
Oregon
can get
seems
crazy
like
there.
the stripper spot.
It's the most strip clubs per capita of any city in the U.S. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
That's-
they're attractive.
Some of them.
So, like, Montana strip clubs is like, yeah, just don't go there.
Just don't go. Just don't go to the Montana strip clubs.
Have you ever been to a strip club in Montana, Ben?
No.
I didn't know those existed.
I mean, I've been
You
to,
can drink in them.
Oh, good.
I've been to Missoula a few times, but that was like traveling with bands and playing shows. But I never actually like slummed it in Montana.
If you go to Montana, you may as well just go to Missoula because it's cool.
So
It's a fucking town. Like, if you're driving on the freeway and, you can see the mountains with the letters on the side of the mountains and all that shit, and you look down and you see Missoula, and it's just like, from the freeway, it's like this little town in the middle of nowhere. Like, you're like, how is this place getting power? Because it's just, you see these buildings in the middle of a bunch of mountains, and it's the fucking freakiest thing. And then once you get down to town, it seems all normal. But when you're like, I always remember that, looking at it from the freeway, it's just like, what the fuck?
It's like a miniaturized version of Seattle.
okay.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
a shit ton of hippies and stuff like that.
Do they have
Hipsters.
like high-rise buildings at all or anything?
No.
Huh.
But the people there are super fucking cool. Like, when we played out there, that's all I remember about Missoula is like everybody wanted to host an after party. Everybody.
Really?
Oh, fucking every
It's a
goddamn
college
person that
town.
was at the show was like, dude, we got an after party. Dude, we got an after party. I was like, there's like 8 after parties, and we don't know which direction to go. And we have a hotel room, so why do we even need your fucking after party? Like, but
What?
they all wanted to party.
So I think we should go out there and play a show then, Nick. What do you think?
Yeah, and then we should check out the strip clubs while we're at it.
Well, it sounds like they closed one, so is there only
Oh,
one
the
left?
one that
or-
the one they closed is like outside of Great Falls, and Great Falls is like you just don't want to go there.
No? Okay, so yes,
that's where I
Missoula, no
lived.
Great Falls.
Yeah, no Great
You
Falls.
lived there in Great
I lived
Falls?
in Great Falls.
So what was the bigger culture shock, moving from the East Coast to Montana or from Montana to here?
Montana to here.
And like, so I've only lived on the West Coast. What's that kind of like a little bit? You've both done it,
Well, I
right?
guess moving from the East Coast to West Coast was quite a culture shock.
Like, do you prefer the West Coast or the East Coast?
There's perks in both. Like there ain't no fucking Dunkin' Donuts here.
Oh yeah.
Those are everywhere
I've
in
always.
New York.
Have you had White Castle?
Yeah.
The
I've always
actual-
wanted that.
No, I
yeah.
haven't had the actual White
No,
Castle.
the actual, yeah.
The actual
No.
is good.
What's the
And to
actual?
clarify your statement, I didn't move from the East Coast. That's just Barbie. I came from the Midwest.
Right. I realized that as I was saying it because it's what, Kansas City or
I was gonna
Oklahoma.
say
Oklahoma.
Louisiana. I was way off.
I mean, they're all the same state.
They pretty much are.
Yeah.
If you were born on the West Coast, everyone east of Montana is pretty much just like giant territories instead of actual states.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone in like Indiana, Illinois, that's all Ohio. And then like Kansas and Oklahoma, that's all just Kansas.
Yeah.
Everything's Texas.
No, it's not.
Everything.
Texas
it's
is
not.
technically a part of the United States of America. But if you ask anybody that lives in Texas, they're their own fucking goddamn country.
Yeah, they act like
That's
it.
why their
yeah.
laws are so weird, because it's like, we're part of the union technically, but you know what? Fuck you. The goddamn state motto is "Don't mess with Texas." I'm not making this up.
It is.
Like, they make a fucking statement that, yeah, we're kind of part of what you're doing over there, but fuck you.
And the Washington state motto is "Don't mess with my Xanax."
That fits. That actually fits.
I've never been to Texas yet. Have you guys actually been there?
Oh, yeah.
Because I
No.
hear
I've
the
lived
I mean,
there.
I
stereotypes.
have plenty of times.
You have?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I've been in an airport, and that doesn't count.
No.
Texas is such a
No.
large state that you can't really put it in a box. Depending on what part of Texas you go to, of course, there's going to be some differences. But I actually really like Texas. It's a pretty fun state. You go to the southern part, obviously, it gets super fucking hot, and I don't like heat, so that sucks. But, like, for the most part, like, I'm legit going to give Texas some props because a lot of people down there are really cool. It's actually way more diverse than you would think. You think Texas, you think a bunch of hillbillies and cowboys, and it's actually,
Yeah.
even when I was younger going down to Texas, it was a very diverse environment. Just Texans are cool people. Like, I
Huh.
always had a good time going down there.
Have you ever been there, Nick?
I used to live there, man.
You used to live in Texas? How do I not know that?
Fucking San Antonio.
Really?
But it was only for like a small period of time before my parents moved me, because I went to like 6th grade there in middle school.
6th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember much of it?
That's when I was like the fat Nick, okay? And I used to get picked on a lot, okay? I got stabbed by a Mexican with a pencil.
That happened in Texas?
Yeah.
I thought that happened in
then-
California.
Nope. And then I got choked out in the locker room by another Mexican.
Yeah,
And
you used
then-
to get bullied like hell.
Yeah.
You got stabbed for
But
being fat.
It was mostly in Texas, though, in San Antonio.
Maybe that's what I need, and maybe I need you to just stab me and be like,
But
nah,
I went
move
to the
forward.
Alamo and the Riverwalk. I mean, Texas is pretty cool. They have 3-liter soda bottles. They don't carry 2 liters.
3 liter? What
Yeah.
does that look like?
I didn't even know there was a such thing.
I didn't either.
Oh,
Everything's bigger in Texas.
That's normal. Well, not just in Texas. Nick's from down there. He knows Brahms burgers. And Brahms would sell half-pound and third-pound burgers. And these things were fucking amazing.
Uh-huh.
Fresh cooked. I mean, they were huge. And, yeah, there's nothing like that up here. Like,
Is that like a fast food place?
oh, no.
Oh.
Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy Store. I grew up with this shit. Look it up. You can go to Brahms and get a gallon of milk. Like, and a fucking jug of ice cream. Or you can order a burger. You can get a chicken fried steak. And by the way, we're talking southern chicken fried steak.
Yeah,
This
not
shit is
the-
bigger than the plate.
Yeah. That's when you know it's good, when it's big like that. If you get the small one, then you know it's fucking just shit made. And it's going to taste like ass.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that bigger is better applied to chicken fried steaks, but
Fuck yeah.
you guys both work at Tony's, and obviously we had a little bit of an agenda trying to get you in when we did, because you've got a really big event coming up, Ben, and I want to spend a little bit of time talking about how you got it started, what we can expect, and what happens to the money that's raised.
Yeah,
and
how
what the
long
charity
has it been
does.
going for?
In its current state, we are in our 4th year.
Okay.
Slam as an event has been going on for close to 13 years off and on, because I used to do it at Jimmy Z's, but it was kind of it was a similar event, but not exactly how we do it now.
Yeah.
And then, do you? You're actually presenting some art at this year's one, right?
I am.
Yes. And for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, I actually have a piece of Barbie's art that I've had on the
She's gonna
set.
kill you for doing that.
No. I'm just being nice, but yeah, I
The
love
camera
it.
can't see the glare.
I know.
That's
It's
It's
kind of
actually one of the
scary.
pieces I like the most.
Oh, that's
Yes.
good. Okay. So
Yes.
you lucked
So
out.
are you going to be selling the art then?
I am.
Are you okay?
Yes.
and you've got other kinds of artists coming too.
So the art this year is being coordinated by an artist named Natasha Nelson, whom I became familiar with about a year ago. She's super awesome, and normally Ruben Trujillo is my art coordinator.
Yep.
But he was really busy this year. He's still going to show at the event, but
That's
he just
Ruben
felt
the
like-
artist online or whatever.
He just felt like with everything he had going on, he didn't want to shoulder the responsibility of organizing for Slam this year. So Natasha very graciously took it on. She's been doing an amazing job organizing the artists. To my knowledge, I think we have somewhere between 10 and 15 artists showing this year, so a huge lineup of artists that are going to be showing.
So where are you putting all the art? Is it going to be outside?
No,
We're
it's
not
in-
all
in
showing
the
at the
venue.
same time.
Oh, I get it now.
There's time
Okay.
slots and days.
That's
So
why,
do
that's
you
why I
just-
use the word organizer. There's actually
Yeah.
work involved with that.
Okay. So are you going to have all your stuff laid out and just be available for questions, or do you actually present it and talk about it like to anyone who's standing there, or how does that
Whoever
work?
has questions, I'll answer them. If they're interested in a piece, I'll let them know the price, and I will haggle a little bit, but not a whole lot. There's a lot of time and product that goes into my paintings, and
Yeah.
I will be showing Friday night, 9 p.m. to close.
Nice. So that's during
Your
Art
set.
when
time.
we'll most likely be
When-
playing
when
too.
Pride Falls is playing.
Pride Falls.
When
Yep.
Pride Falls is playing.
Quick plug, Mr. Random Heroes band called Pride Fails will be playing the 14th at Slam.
Yes.
They are the second to last band,
Yes.
and I heard some of their shit recorded anyways, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been putting a lot of work in trying to make this show good.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've been practicing too, and we're coming up. We're going to be doing a couple double up sessions down at Uber Beats in Linwood to make sure that all of our stuff is going to sound good through live
And
monitors.
I actually gotta
and
say,
stuff.
that Friday show, like, a lot of people seem to be signing up for the Saturday show because that's
Yeah.
just the way shit works.
Yeah.
But that Friday show is gonna be fucking ballin'. I've seen the lineup of artists. There's some amazing artists that are gonna be there. The
With the
headlining
exception
band.
of myself.
Shut up. You're great.
The headlining band is a debuting Deftones tribute, which I'm super
I'm looking
stoked
forward
about.
to that one.
So that's their debut show also?
Yeah.
Because it's also ours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So your last
so,
two bands are debuting.
Eric Krakora, who was one of the first people I met when I moved to the state of Washington. I've worked with his bands for a long time. He is the one that has the Deftones tribute, and he told me about it a few months ago, and I really wanted to get him into Slam. He didn't know if they were going to be ready yet, but he contacted me about the time I started organizing everything. He said, "Hey, dude, I think we're going to be ready."
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah. I was like super stoked about that. So I actually put him on the headlining spot because, you know, granted, yeah, that's going to be their debut show, but I think, you know, crowd's really going to stick for that. I think that's going to be a really awesome thing.
You
I
know,
mean,
I've been handing out some of the flyers, and most people do find themselves drawn to that. And they're like, "Oh, cool!" And they're going to play right after you guys. Awesome! And then they know that they want to stay for the whole end of the show, and that's a cool feeling. You know?
I just want to see how the singer's going to compare to the actual singer, the Deftones. Like, I want to stay and watch. And
yeah, I love the Deftones, so I'm just going to be having a good time either way. The event is, it's all to raise money for Strong Against Cancer at
Yeah.
Seattle Children's Hospital, and we've been doing this specific cause for the last 4 years that we've been doing this event.
So you've
and-
done the same charity for each year?
Yes.
Okay.
Dan Nunn, who plays in a band called Washington Black, they're headlining the Saturday show. They're a Pearl Jam tribute. His band every year donates a percentage of anything they make as a band to that cause.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing that they do.
Yeah.
And so when I was looking, when I brought Slam back, and big shout out to my boss Tony B, because when I mentioned it to him and wanted to bring it back, he was all about it. He didn't hesitate. When I brought Slam back, I wanted to find like a good cause for us to raise money for, because back in the day, it was just every year it was something different. It was a different cause. And Tony and I researched a few things, and we just kind of found out, unfortunately, you do have to research, because some of the places that you raise money for, the money doesn't always go where you think it's going.
Right.
Yeah, they keep it sometimes. Don't
Whereas
they?
with
for
Strong
themselves.
Against Cancer, cancer affects everybody, and specifically, mostly what they do with Strong Against Cancer is they work with childhood cancer. However, the cancer research that they do is renowned across the country and pretty much across the world. Like they make some of the biggest leaps and bounds in cancer research and cancer studies. So the general fight against cancer is helped just through helping this organization, and every dime that goes in the organization goes into the equipment that they need. Like I did the research, like paying the doctors, and they do some fantastic work there. Any of you Seahawks fans, I mean, I don't know how you feel about Russell Wilson right now.
Love him.
But Russell Wilson, every year, he does a huge benefit for Strong Against Cancer and raises millions of dollars. I mean, it's near and dear to his heart. I mean, we don't raise his kind of money, but this year, I'm really excited, because this year we should break the 10 grand marker.
Oh, wow.
Of 4 years of doing this event, which I think is really cool. And
That's really good.
everything helps.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty cool amount to put into that cause. Makes me feel good,
And it's a suggested donation to attend the show of $15. Would that be for each day?
Yes.
Now,
and,
are
and
you
there's
gonna,
2 days,
hold
right?
on.
2 days.
There's 2. Are you going to judge someone if they don't pay?
So the way we do it,
Like, I would feel like a dick if I didn't pay, but
Well,
It's a good question to
I
ask.
know.
I've never asked that
the
before.
way we do it is, that's why it's called a suggested donation. If somebody walks in and they only have $5 to put in, we're not going to tell them they can't come in, of course.
Right.
That's crazy. We'll take the donation. Most of the people that come into this event believe in it. So a lot of times they might put 20 or 30.
Yeah.
It's $15 suggested, but they'll be like, here's $40. That happens all the time. They'll put more money in.
Yeah.
So if another person walks in and they're like, I'm really broke, but I kind of want to check this out. Here, can I put $5 in? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's really about raising money for the cause, but it's when I ran Little Ben Productions, which was my promotions company, my philosophy was always try to bring the crowds to the bands instead of having the bands bring the crowds to you. That's how I operated as an independent promoter.
Yeah.
The idea was to build the type of events. And I was a gimmick promoter, but it worked, I'd have contests, I'd have Star Wars parties, whatever I could think of, build the type of events that people wanted to go to. And then the bands were a footnote to the event, meaning I could actually select bands based on their talent and their personality versus how many people they brought.
An
in
artist
the room.
based on their talent.
Yeah.
And she gets the closing slot on Friday. I
Yeah,
love that.
well, the artists actually, I do expect them to promote a little bit because they are selling. There's a difference because they're able to sell their art. The bands
That's
are not
fair.
getting paid.
yeah.
The bands are all donating their time.
What? I'm just kidding.
Looks like I'm out. The bands are donating their time, so they don't have the promotions weight. The promotions being done by, and granted, of course, a lot of the bands, like you said, you're putting handbills. A lot of the bands are promoting anyways because it's a super cool thing. But the point being, we do raffles. That goes into the cause. The suggested donation. This year, Natasha's going to have a kissing booth, which is a slam first, so that's going to be exciting. There's going to be a few other surprises I don't even want to say because they're fucking huge, and there's things I've been boiling in the background. So people that go to this event are gonna see some seriously cool shit, and that's all I can say. And I'm gonna be putting that online, quite a bit here in the next week.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what it is because BARBI doesn't even know, and she's my best friend. Like, I am keeping this so under hat. Like, there's a couple things I got brewing for this event that I'm really excited about, and I don't want to tell anybody. It's like the people that show up to the event are going to be able to experience these things, and if you don't show up, you're going to miss it.
Well, then afterwards, you're going to have to tell people what it was so that
No,
you can make
I
fun
don't
of them
tell
for
them
missing
shit.
it.
I was,
I don't tell them shit. You know what the most annoying thing... here's a little PSA for you. The most annoying thing you can do if you miss a show is ask somebody, how was the show?
yeah, how was the show?
You know that because, like, you every time you want to respond, well, if you were there, you'd know. But then you got to do the polite, oh, it was great, blah, 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 blah. It's like, why'd I got to tell you how the fucking show was and give you a play-by-play because your ass was too lazy to show up?
Okay, now I got to ask. I've been wanting to see this band, and Yvette's been wanting to see this band, but I know you just went and saw Gogo Bordello.
Oh,
I don't even
my
know who that is.
God.
You got to tell me about that. They're like almost like a gypsy rock band from
Gypsy
what I've
punk.
heard. Yeah, gypsy punk maybe. very, very interesting music. But like, what's it like to see them live?
Okay, hold on.
was-
Can someone give me a description? Okay, you say gypsy punk, but do you have like a band you can relate to?
No.
No, there's
No?
nothing like
Okay.
it.
You have to.
I'll have to look it up.
Like,
Yeah, you know that song "Mama" by My Chemical Romance?
No.
Well, if you don't know that, that's the closest one I can think of to their style. But it's very, very eclectic, very, very unique, which is why I was wondering what it's like to see them live. I haven't gotten to see them yet, but like that must
One
have
of
been
their more
crazy.
popular songs is called "Start Wearing Purple."
Yes. That's Yvette's favorite song of theirs. Yeah.
It's probably my favorite song too. It's my favorite color.
It is. Yeah, it's mine also.
Isn't
But
that your
live,
favorite
they
color?
were a blast. And
Did they play at Tony V's?
No.
No.
No,
Oh,
they
okay.
played at the Neptune in Seattle,
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
which is a gorgeous venue.
Yeah.
I love that place. And it was I don't even know. Like listening to him in my car, because on the way here, Start Wearing Purple played in my car, and I was just imagining it live all over again, and it was just so much more fun live.
Do they
And-
wear like crazy costumes, or do they do like big pyrotechnics or
They
anything
play
like that?
naked? Anything like that?
Well, the singer like took his shirt off halfway
Ooh,
through.
that's hot. That's
And then
hot.
for the encore, he came out in like a smoking jacket,
Nice.
like a silk robe,
like a
basically.
Hefner, a Hugh Hefner kind of
I
thing.
feel like
basically,
it's
yeah.
it's Ben's favorite band too, as you can see. He really loves
Go
it.
Bordello?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't dislike him.
Which comic did you grab?
Yeah. What did you bring
Invincible
today?
Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
I like comics.
I know you do.
I'm
I'm just
completely 100% paying attention to everything happening around me. I work security for a living. My situational awareness is fantastic.
there will be a quiz later.
That's an inside joke with me and Barbie.
Oh.
Because I miss 90% of the shit that happens around the house. It's like, every time she brings it up, I'm like, I work security for a living. I have the best situational awareness of anybody. The fucking bats she put up in the front room, I didn't see
There's bats.
a day.
I had to say something about them. Like, there's literally probably about 50 bats on the wall in the living room right now, and he did not notice them. I was like, so
And you're on
see those
like
bats?
you're on vacation right now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you plan on do?
Not a goddamn thing. The most annoying thing about being on vacation is when 100 people start saying, hey, what are you going to do with your vacation? It's like, I got to make
I'm
fucking
one of
plans
those.
now.
Yeah.
Ben just doesn't like to answer questions about things. That's what I'm gathering here.
No, it's just like, it's a vacation. Maybe I
I'll
just
do
want to
whatever
sit on
the
my
fuck
goddamn
I want.
ass. We had fun last night. We played, I bought a horror game, a Resident Evil game, and we played like 1 o'clock in the morning, turned all the lights off, and played that for like an hour and a half. And yeah, it scared the shit out of us, but we had a blast. Like, it was super fun. Like,
Do you ever remember playing the first one that came out on
a
PlayStation?
long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that game.
The
too.
first time I ever tried to play Resident Evil, I can't remember which one it was, but you're like stuck in this room and you have to get out, and as soon as you get out, you get attacked by one of those rabid dogs. And I
remember the
screamed
dogs.
and I threw the controller and I ran up the stairs.
Those are the fun
Because it was
games.
like surround sound and the chair was perfectly in the middle of the room, so you heard everything.
Yeah,
And-
when we do horror games, we do it right. We turn all the lights off in
not
the
okay.
house, crank the sound up.
Do you play horror games?
No.
Because I know you
I've
don't
never-
like the
Jesse
movies.
does no horror.
Yeah,
no
I
horror
know.
whatsoever.
Not, and I actually had this written down to bring up because I know that all of you guys at least like horror movies now and then. But like with the video games also, I saw your post about like making screaming noises playing Resident Evil. So I was like, what's it like to play horror games? Are you trying to be scared or are you trying to win or?
Well, it's funny. So
I
my
hate 'em
personality,
sometimes.
and you know my personality, it kind of shines through when I'm playing horror games too. I joke and I have fun.
Yeah.
So Barbie was having fun because we actually started out. She was playing the game, and I'm just kind of watching her play the game. And she's getting really fucking freaked out. Like, just walk up to a hallway, and she's like, "No, fuck no." And so I was like, you know what? I'll play. And then so it's me, and I'm cracking jokes with everything happening in the game. But you know, when fucking shit got real, we both screamed like little girls. And shit would jump out at you, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Turn around and there's a fucking face.
That's what I hate about playing those games, because like
So
you turn
I-
around and it just pops out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
I absolutely love horror movies. I can watch them for days and like all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't freak me out, whatever. Like it might freak me out for a hot second, like in a dark room I'll be like, "Oh fuck." I gotta run. But horror games, for some reason freak me out.
Because you're actually like controlling.
Because
the
I'm
movements.
interacting with it, and I
Yeah.
can. And
Yeah.
I'm not the best controller of a game.
Yeah, you weren't
So, like,
doing
when I
bad.
get freaked out, like, my video will go, like, up to the ceiling.
Oh,
Where am I going?
Yeah.
You're just running in a
We're
panic.
doing
And,
bad. And I'm like the exact opposite. I'm not a big. I mean, like the classic horror movies I love, but like horror as a genre is not my favorite.
Uh-huh.
There's a few things I'll gravitate towards, but the games I love because it's the opposite. I am in control, and I can, so I can have fun with it and talk shit and move around and make jokes and be me and do what I do, and it'll still scare the shit out of me sometimes. But it's like I know it's a game, and I know it was made by developers, and that just puts me at ease. When I'm watching a movie, I have no control. Just whatever's gonna happen in the movie is gonna happen.
Interesting.
I yell at
Interesting.
movies.
Do you guys do haunted houses at all?
Oh, I love
Yes.
haunted
You
houses.
know?
I joke my way through those. It's like more of a coping mechanism, but it's also I just like to have fun with it. So like if you know how you walk around a corner and there's this chick that like screams bloody murder as you walk past.
Yeah.
I will legit turn around and be like, you seriously have to do that in my fucking ear.
Oh.
Nick, tell me your story about the haunted house because you had a little bit of a different experience.
I like haunted houses, okay, but I just don't like getting spooked out of nowhere. But I went with our friend Aaron and his ex-wife now.
Something like that.
So yeah, and then my girlfriend. But we were going through this long tunnel, and I don't like being scared. And I was in the back, and my girlfriend's behind me trying to hold on to me. And I got freaked out, so then I just ran. I left everybody, and I just ran out.
Didn't like a chainsaw guy come out and then you ran away or something?
Yeah, it chased my girlfriend and I. Then Aaron and Sarah were still back there, but I just ran.
You
'cause
just
I
abandoned everybody?
I abandoned everybody. I
I tend to try and freak them out, which works pretty well in my
Do you bring your own mask in there and like?
no, but
Sometimes they
Like-
don't let you do that. I don't think.
there
Bring your
was
own
like a
mask.
Jack Sparrow creature with glow in the dark face paint, like
Oh.
standing around one corner, and me and my friends, of course, we were like 16, 17 years old, something like that, right when Pirates was coming out.
Okay.
And we turn the corner, and he's standing there just staring at us, and we're both like, "You're pretty damn cute." And then at the end, when the chainsaw guy comes out, instead of us running away like little bitches, we turn around and we're like, "Hey, can we play with that? Can we have that?" And he's just like, "What?"
You're not afraid? No, we can see there's not a chain on it. So can we have a turn or what?
And honestly, my very first haunted house I was in
You were
Like
in
when
a
I was
Participated?
about 9 years old.
Ooh, that would've
I've
been
always
fun.
wanted to do that too. Seems like it'd be fun to be
Yeah.
the scary.
Yeah, I didn't think about this till you guys brought it up, but the scariest haunted house I was ever in was actually in a haunted house. Meaning the house was actually haunted, and then they set up a haunted house in the haunted house.
Okay.
This was in Oklahoma. This was a fucking huge, creepy ass fucking house. It was out in the middle of nowhere. And that's how they were advertising it, haunted house in a haunted house. And I was like, oh, well, this will be, I'm young and, we're all cock strong and dumb. And, oh, this will be cool.
Cock strong.
Man,
I like that.
that scared,
Yeah.
it actually scared the people that were doing the haunted house because you were hearing noises and seeing things that weren't there. And it was crazy. Like we all got out of there and we're like, we're never doing that again. Like, it wasn't even really fun. It was that scary. It was like, we're just not doing that again.
Yeah,
Ah.
I've always wanted to do that. Like go into an actual haunted house. You know what I mean?
So am I to assume that all of you guys actually believe in hauntings and ghosts and
Oh, yeah.
stuff?
I
Yeah.
do, anyways.
Well, that's why I said I wanted to bring like one of those ghost hunter people and find one and talk to him about it.
For the
Well,
show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about Tony V's, it used to be Jimmy Z's, as you know, years ago.
Fuck that
Yeah.
basement.
That's
And
where I
very
did my first
famously-
show.
There's a
And
basement?
I worked there and was down there quite often.
Goes
That basement was
halfway
super
out
haunted.
to the street.
And like I'd go down there. So we used to keep the kegs down in the basement. We have them upstairs in a walk-in cooler now, but back in those days the kegs were kept down in the basement. So if we needed to change out kegs, we'd have to go down the basement, change out the kegs, which none of the fucking bartenders wanted to do. So they'd send us down to do it, the security guys. And yeah, you'd go down there and you would walk down the stairs, which by the way are the creep. And even to this day, they're still like the creepiest rickety fucking stairs you've ever seen in your life. But the moment you get down there, you're like hearing voices and you're hearing people talking, and then you would see like right out of your peripheral like something walking by. It's just like a constant thing. You'd actually get used to it. Like you just mentally prepare yourself when you go down there. I'm gonna see weird shit and hear weird shit.
And you've
The
seen all
fucking
this
cake
too
changed
down
out.
there?
I don't go that far down. So my first experience with the basement, it was Easter Sunday, and Tony's closes on Easter usually.
Yeah.
And so Easter Sunday, a bunch of us gather there, and it's like the first year Tony was in the big side.
Yeah.
And we're just like throwing up decorations and fixing up the bar and stuff like that. So Tony asked me to go down to the basement and grab the box of metal signs that we used to have posted up by the stage on the other side.
Yeah.
So I was going to put them up around the sound booth. And I open the door to the basement, I look down, and I see a goddamn trike. Like a little tricycle.
Like the Saw style? The
Yeah,
little guy.
like
Okay.
like the Saw style.
Ah, look at that.
Oh, creepy.
Yeah.
And she's got him tattooed
And
on her
it's
arm.
just right perfectly at the bottom of the stairs, facing towards the creepy, dark-ass hallway. And I literally look down the stairs, and I'm like, nope, it's not happening. Not going down there. I eventually did go down there, because if we have big shows, we put all the chairs down there from the bar.
Oh, okay, okay.
A couple of my coworkers have gone all the way down into the basement and checked it out, because they're brave. They're braver than I.
Or dumber.
My coworker Larissa and I will not. Like, we stay in the well-lit area where there's stairs that you can run up when you hear something.
I want to go in this basement.
I kind of
actually-
do too now.
I
It's
know.
way better. It doesn't have near as much activity anymore. And I think Haley, who had the bar before Tony took it over on the big side, I heard she brought a medium in for the downstairs area. So that's probably why. There's still activity, like, in that bar. Every now and again, I'll see things or I'll hear things. It's just, like, doesn't make any sense. And I'm
Yeah.
usually just aware. Like, I was using the bathroom. True story. I was telling Barbie about this. And, you know, I washed my hands, turn off the faucet like I always do. I walked out and I heard water come on, and there's nobody in the bathroom. And I went back in the bathroom. The hot water was on.
Oh, that's weird.
Someone's trying to
Yeah.
burn you.
Not okay.
Well, I mean, like, I've just never encountered anything that has seemed haunted to me. Have you been in anything, Nick, that where you're like, yeah, this is definitely haunted?
No, I like scary. Yeah, everything I've
believe in
gotten
it?
it from like movies and stuff. So everything I've seen, like a scary basement, I would just think it would be haunted.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to like go on a ghost hunt with somebody and actually feel or see something or actually hear shit.
I hear the Oxford at night's pretty fun.
Is
Well,
that
the Oxford's right up the street from this place.
I went and ate lunch there, and well, there's this story. I don't know the like full correct story, but there was a little girl that was living there or something and killed herself in a bathroom.
Oh.
And there's this doll that she owned, and every time they've sold the doll, something bad happened to the person who bought it, and the doll was always returned.
Oh, that's weird.
the
I
doll
think
still
it was
there?
yeah. Actually, if you go in, the doll is above the bar at the very top.
Maybe we can borrow the doll for a
And
show.
apparently at night, this doll will follow you when you're working or whatever. Like its eyes and its head will follow you. Jonas, my boyfriend, it's like one of the first kitchens he worked in, and he said one night like he noticed that.
I want to go check this doll out.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
I also have a pretty fascinating theory that I'll try to nutshell, that people who believe in spirits and paranormal activity are usually a bit more tuned into them, if that makes any sense.
I
isn't that
get what you're
convenient?
saying.
Well, if you've had experiences, and some people believe because they have had experiences, and it's like, fuck it, I have a choice. I have to believe this now. And some people just know it's not a thing. And you can actually close your mind off to certain things.
Yeah.
You know,
can.
like you really can. And where it doesn't even affect you. You could literally have a spirit in this room right now. And with 4 people sitting in this room, if one person's super tuned in, they might actually sense the presence of that spirit, whereas the other 3 people would be completely unaware.
But then, so by your theory, would that extend to any manifestations of that presence? You know, like when people talk about hauntings, there's usually some type of a physical thing that happens, like that faucet being turned on. Are you saying if someone who didn't believe in ghosts walked down there, that would have prohibited the ghost from being able to do that?
No, they would just more or less look over it like it was nothing.
Or they'd find a rational quote unquote explanation for
Yeah.
it, because what I hear a lot of times is, well, that happened because of this, or that happened because of
Yeah,
that.
they make
you know?
excuses.
Well,
the
I'm not saying
wiring's
excuses.
off for-
The fact of the matter is, they could be right. You could be right. You don't know who's right, but it's two different perspectives. Is my point. So if you're more tuned in, sometimes you're going to be more aware that I think this was spirit activity. You know, your friend who's just not completely tuned in and doesn't care, is like, no, that was the wind. That kind of example.
Well,
you
and
know?
I've always been a believer that if you look for something, you can find it. You know, if you go somewhere and you think, okay, this place is
If I
haunted.
look for hot twins, I can find them.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially online. But like if I went into a basement,
We finally made Nick laugh. It had to be hot twin porn to get him over the edge. Perfect.
Well, I was thinking that, and then I was thinking what Jesse said. If you, what did you say?
I'm just saying that if you look for something, you can find it.
But
like,
I was gonna say Jesse keeps looking for his dick, and he can never find it.
that's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume it's there. I'm haunted by it. No, and I don't mean to make light of any beliefs or experiences that you guys have had. I just come to it from the opposite end of the spectrum. And so when that stuff happens, yeah, I admit that I get creeped out easily, which is why I don't watch horror movies. But at the same time, in the real world, I don't feel like I've encountered anything that makes me think that it exists, you know?
You also have to take into account that energy can neither be created nor destroyed.
Right.
So when someone dies, that energy is still existing.
Right, but in different forms, I would say. But how do you mean on that? You mean like we would always retain the same type of energy in like an afterlife because that can't be destroyed?
I mean, technically, that's what I believe. Because, I mean, where does that energy go? And that's the whole explanation of ghosts and spirits, is that's the energy being left behind.
Afterlife is more of a theological discussion.
Sure.
I kind of subscribe, and I'm not going to get way into this because everybody's going to be like, what the fuck, dude? I kind of subscribe to the Gaia theory. I think that all spirits are connected. And I think that when we die, our spirits are still connected. They just go back to the earth and to, you know, the body of life that is on this planet. We're all connected spirits, basically.
Huh.
In my theory.
I've never heard that theory.
What's yours, Nick? What do you think?
Atheist.
So when we're dead, it's over?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm not sure. I don't know what I
out,
believe, but I really, really want it to be some type of situation where I get to know how the universe ends up. You know, I like how mankind ends up killing themselves if it's 1,000 years after I've died or whatever. I just want the afterlife to allow me to know what happens to us. You know, that's all that I would wish.
Yeah, but you're assuming the universe knows.
I'm assuming that.
Boom!
You can
I just
observe
blew
it.
your mind. I saw that. Yeah.
Like, do you believe it when people say like they were about to die and they saw some bright light or something like
I
that,
don't
and then they
disbelieve
came
it.
back?
I don't, you've heard that account so many times. There's no part of
Yeah.
me that wants to say they're seeing things or crazy. I mean, there's so much. I'm very fond of saying that the breadth of what we don't know as a human species far outweighs what we know.
Yeah.
You know, we like to think that's how we maintain our sanity, you know, because we're cognizant beings. We like to think that we have a grasp on our realities, but the fact is, we have no fucking idea what's going on around us. We really don't. Our lives are so short. They're so short, you know, given the span and stretch of time in the universe, you know, we're specks. So, and our lives still have meaning. I'm not saying, hey, our lives have no meaning. You know, what we do is important in the grand scheme. It's all domino effect, butterfly effect, whatever you want to call it. But, I mean, we don't know so much. So when somebody presents something to me and they're like, well, I think this, I'm never going to say you're wrong because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't tell religious people that they're wrong. I don't tell scientists that they're wrong. I don't tell anybody that they're wrong because I don't fucking know. When I talk about my Gaia theory, that's my theory. I'm not saying that's fact.
Yeah.
I'm just saying based on what I've seen and what I hope is the case with life in general, that's a beautiful thing to think we're all connected. Every life on this planet, like I said, Barbie's my best friend, and she's super cool. And one of the things I love about her is, like, if there's a spider in my room, and you know how I feel about fucking spiders.
I won't fucking kill him either.
She will get that spider. And, well, I don't like killing them either. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, if that thing's jumping at me, and it's in my bedroom, or I can't safely get it quickly, it's fucking dead, okay? I'm not going to lie. But I don't feel good about it. So she goes out of her way very carefully to get the spider and make sure it gets outside, which I really appreciate, you know, because then I don't feel guilty. The spider's out of my room. And it's still alive, you know. And I do think that I know it's like a super Buddhist thing. I think that all life's connected, and I've got to the point in my life where I feel guilty even if I like swat a fly or a mosquito or something because I ended a life. Like it's all. Now, if I'm eating it, Circle of life, man. I don't feel bad about that. Sorry, vegans.
That's the weird thing for me is that after watching a whole bunch of like really good David Attenborough nature documentaries, the one theme about all life is that it must consume other life to maintain.
Yes.
And that's fucked with my head for weeks ever since I first kind of developed that idea in my head. And it's so weird to me that like to be alive, you have to go and kill something, or you have to pull a plant out of the ground, and you just eat it. That's a weird thing,
well,
you know?
Eating something is killing something with purpose.
Yeah.
Because you're eating it's kind of, again, it's a circle. Animals kill animals all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a circle. I mean, we could get into moral discussion, but morality is basically a human concept. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go all into that. I'll be on a fucking philosophical discussion with you guys for 3 hours. But the point is like, you know, I just personally can't kill something without a purpose in killing it. Now, if I kill it out of self-preservation, I don't feel bad about that, you know?
Yeah.
If I feel like my life or at least my physical well-being's in danger and I have to kill something to preserve that, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
If, you know, I eat an animal that I know died because it's food, I don't feel bad about that. And I get, you know, I kind of took a shot at vegans, but hey, vegans, I got your back on. There are a lot of very fucked up ways that some of these animals are kept and killed.
Yeah, but vegans can be dicks about it though too.
Well,
oh yeah.
Well, I don't want to get in that conversation. I'm just quantifying and qualifying your argument that does happen and it sucks. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to feel guilty about eating meat. Animals eat meat all the time. You know, you vegans are killing a lot of innocent plants.
Yes, they are. Plants have feelings too.
Plants are life forms too.
And I want to point out really quickly the hilarity in the fact that there are 4 people in this room, 3 of which are men. 1 is a woman, and she is the only one who can deal with a spider.
Did you just assume my gender?
Yes, I did. You're a man.
Yeah.
And she's the only one who can healthily deal with a spider, while the rest of us would be screaming and begging her to handle it for us. Because I'm arachnophobic. Nick's just a bitch in general. And apparently you're arachnophobic.
I can get the spider, I just prefer not to. She doesn't mind so much. Like, it freaks me out. It actually does. Like, that's a deep-bedded fear of mine, because I got bit by spiders quite often when I was younger. I'd wake up and find spiders crawling on me and shit.
Yeah,
you know, spiders freak me out.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah, well,
super creepy.
I grew up in Oklahoma. We have black widows. You guys gotta understand, we have some vicious spiders in Oklahoma. Like up in Washington, I mean the worst thing you gotta worry about is like a brown recluse.
Brown recluse.
Yeah.
They're pretty nasty spiders.
They are.
If you don't take care of them.
But I'd rather encounter a brown recluse than a black widow, I'll tell you right now.
When I was little, I used to let Daddy Longlegs crawl all over me.
I heard that's like this poisonous spider.
No, that was
It's a
busted.
myth.
It's busted.
Yeah.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
It's a myth. Oh.
Yeah, because they always said that they're the most poisonous, but their pinchers are just too small.
Yeah,
to
they
bite
can't
you.
bite you.
But it's a myth. They're
Yeah.
completely harmless.
I remember that.
It's a fun
growing
myth.
up,
yeah, but totally unfounded. But like my sister was the same way. I don't know if she still is, but she could hold just about any kind of spider and play with it, and she would frequently try and bring them up to me. And so not any, just Daddy Longlegs.
I actually don't like spiders being on my person anymore. When I was a kid, it was like, haha, look, I got a spider. And it was just Daddy Longlegs. Like, I wouldn't let any spider crawl on me. Just Daddy Longlegs. Because, I don't know, they're
I wonder how they came up with that name.
But,
Daddy Longlegs.
It was a freaky guy who didn't like just the name Longlegs.
he had to make a little kink out of it.
I think there was a meme going around like that.
Yeah, there is. I just saw it.
That must, yeah.
I've never in
yeah,
my life like physically attacked a woman. I'm very proud of this fact. But I lived with a girl named Danielle. She may or may not listen to this podcast. This was years ago. But she had, among many other creatures, because she was just that chick that had tons of creepy crawlies, a fucking tarantula. And so
Fuck that.
She was very fond of like walking up to me and going, "Here, Ben, hold the tarantula," and just handing it to me. And yeah, you know, and I told her, I was like, dude, like, I don't hit women, but you might get punched in the face next time you throw a tarantula at me, because those things are fucking creepy.
And she would have deserved it. I mean, if you have a true phobia of that and she keeps doing that, she's being a real asshole.
No, she,
you know?
well, she was trying, that was her method of trying to have me beat my phobia, and she's actually super cool. But the whole I'd punch her in the face thing is a joke. And a lot of people love tarantulas. I totally get that. Just to me, it's like, first of all, it's a spider. Second of all, it's like larger than the normal spider, which in my head makes it monstrous and creepy.
Yeah.
And it's furry, and they come in a lot of
And they're fucking
pretty
furry.
colors.
They do. See, I think I'm
that alone fucks me up. They're furry.
I think
Cats and dogs are furry. I don't need a furry spider. There's something inherently wrong about that.
I don't
Anyways.
know. I think I'd be less afraid of a tarantula than those big giant house spiders we get around here that look like brown recluses.
Yeah.
They look like the spiders from Arachnophobia. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've seen those.
and I have just this natural visceral hatred of them that anytime I see them, I have to kill them. And for the first 20 some years of my life, I wasn't even able to. I had to find a girl or a guy like Barbie who could handle it for
Guy
me.
like Barbie.
Guy like Barbie.
That's our quote for the
Honestly-
podcast. Guy like Barbie.
Between me letting spiders crawl on me, daddy long legs crawl on me, and until I moved to Camino Island 10 years ago, I was also terrified of spiders.
Ugh.
So much so that I didn't even want to kill them.
How'd this turn
Like,
into
I
a
didn't
half-hour
wanna-
conversation about spiders?
I have no idea.
We're dealing with
but-
our fears, Ben.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be anywhere near them and scream bloody murder.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Camino Island, and I lived on the south end for the first couple of years, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to South End and Camino Island, but they're fucking everywhere. You walk out your front door and into a freaking spider. Like, so I just became comfortable with them.
You kind of had to.
And I left them alone.
Speaking
And I'm
of
like, well,
fears.
if I leave them alone, they'll leave me alone, whatever, unless they're a hobo spider, because those things are just
Yeah,
aggressive.
fuck those things. Ben's got a shit-eating grin right now.
Yes.
This fucks me up because this is a legitimate thing, and some people are terrified. Why do people have a phobia of gnomes?
Oh,
that's weird.
really?
Do you?
No,
Oh.
they're fucking gnomes. They're adorable.
Like lawn gnomes?
yeah.
Yeah.
People are, dude,
Yeah.
I'm not making this up. I have friends that are going to be listening to this right now pissed at me because I'm laughing at them because they're stupid gnome phobia.
We should get a little gnome. put
I know
up here.
people
A
that
little
are,
gnome?
A little gnome.
have a phobia of moths.
I
There's
know
a
someone
lot of
who has a moth
phobias.
phobia for sure.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone who has a phobia of gnomes. That's totally new to me.
No, it's, dude, look it up. It's super legit.
Well,
I have
and-
a lot of friends that are like terrified of gnomes.
And if we all got our phobia of spiders by being like attacked by one or having one crawl over us, I wonder how you develop the gnome phobia.
Well, so as far as phobias go, a phobia is a fear of something that can harm you. So technically, a phobia of gnomes isn't a thing because gnomes can't really harm you.
So
because-
to be a phobia, it has to be something that could
That's
feasibly harm
harmful.
you.
I don't know. If
I
that's
thought a
like
phobia
a
was an
phobia
irrational.
of
I
heights
guess we're gonna have
or
to
fear of
Google it.
falling.
Oh, I'm on it, man.
He's
Um,
Googling
I
it.
need-
I just
Utilizing
read a
your
freaking
internet
article
savvy.
on this.
Well,
That's
you
why
read-
trypophobia isn't a real thing because a small cluster of holes can't physically harm you.
Trypophobia? I didn't.
Trypophobia is a phobia of
Well, what's
clusters of
necrophilia
holes.
then?
Necrophilia is when you
Yeah, that's
bang
a
dead
philia.
bodies.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
Philiac is
I'm sorry.
different.
It's totally different. My bad.
All right, phobia. Noun, an extreme or irrational fear or aversion to something.
So that doesn't
So
say
it
it
doesn't
has to
have
be
to
able to
harm
harm
you.
you.
Yeah.
But
Phobia describes a fear.
I read an article on trypophobia, and in it they said it's not technically a real fear because a small cluster of holes can't physically harm you, and a phobia is
Yeah.
of something that can physically harm you.
Well, I think that's how the writer was defining, because phobia is a fear. I think the writer was making the point that it's something, because that definition actually said or aversion to.
yeah.
So it clarified that, because
So
the
that
writer's
could
like,
just mean
well,
a dislike of it.
if you're not
instead
afraid of it,
Yeah.
I think what that writer was trying to say is if you're not afraid of it, it can't be a phobia. Because a lot of people don't like the term. I use it because I don't like homophobics, but they don't like the term homophobia because it's not a fear of gay people.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just
an
you
asshole.
being a
it's- You're a
bigot.
bigot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I get that. It's words are fun. Like, no, I'm a word guy, and it's just
Homophobia.
fascinating to me how words can be translated. But anyways, like,
Yeah.
I think phobia would be defined. I think I know where that writer of that article was going with that. But phobia technically would be combined as a fear of something.
Huh.
And
Now, did you guys know that Urban Dictionary also has name definitions? Because we actually did one for you a couple weeks ago that, Nick, if you want to look these up again, I'd love to have you read Ben's name definition out loud to him.
Did we do Little Ben?
We just did Ben, and then we haven't done Barbie yet. But they actually have definitions for names, and Nick has the best one that we've encountered yet so far, because it's
on
absolutely
Urban
ridiculous.
Dictionary,
Yeah.
So do you want to do my full first name or my short first name?
Dealer's choice on that.
Wait a minute. Is Barbie your real name?
It's short for Barbara.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
We'll do
Makes
Barbara,
sense.
I think, because that's still technically your name. I don't know. It's whatever you want. We did Brie, which was short for Brienne. So if you would prefer Barbie, we'll look that one up. BARBI.
that's another fun conversation. Names.
Right.
Well, we have a bouncer named Country,
Wait,
and you've met Country.
Maybe.
Barb?
Guy. And he gets really pissed off when people tell him that's not your name. He's like, it's absolutely my name. No, it's not his given birth name, but Country is what he
goes with.
And it
by,
pisses
and
me
what
off
people know
too
him
because
as.
I always get the people that's like, "What's your name, Barbie?" And I've legit had someone say this word for word.
how'd you want me to spell it?
I want your real name, not your fucking stage name.
Oh. Do you mean
I don't
like
mean to
that?
laugh.
Like this?
It's fucked up, but it's also hilarious.
Because we had the same exact reaction to
And
it.
if you think I've ever given any one of you guys daggers, you should have seen the look I gave this
Oh,
bastard.
I bet. So are you
I
gonna
can
do
laugh
Ben?
because she'll kill me later.
Okay, how do you... Wait, oh, you want me to do Ben?
Either one. Whichever one you want to do first.
We'll do Ben first.
Okay, so this is a repeat of a couple years ago, or a couple weeks ago, but now that he's here, we're
Okay,
gonna
so
do
the
it.
top definition of your name, sir, is Ben is an amazing guy, one of the sweetest you'll ever meet. He is quiet, though. That's not true. Until you get him alone and he becomes the funniest and cutest guy ever.
Yeah, that's the top definition for your name on Urban Dictionary.
And he gives the best hugs. I don't know if that's true. Is he a
They're all right.
hugger? No? Okay.
Well, Barbie's not a big
Everybody-
hugger,
well-
so.
She doesn't qualify an opinion on that, which is a different thing. But I actually get told that all the time by people like, "Oh, you give the best hugs."
Now, do we want to do Barbie
Yeah.
or Barbara?
Barbi.
No E.
Because
huh?
when we did Breeze, we did her shorter name, so I'd rather go with the one you want. What's it say?
A female who becomes bisexual only when drinking with males present, usually at a bar or club.
Okay, well, you can make her feel better about that by reading the top definition for your name.
I mean, I'm bisexual whether
That's
I drink or not.
semi-accurate.
Yeah. You don't just become that way after
Alright.
drinking.
No.
The top definition for my name is some asshole that will steal your bagel.
His was the only one we came across that was a one-word thing that was only negative stuff. Every other name we've read has some kind of positives in it.
Now,
That's funny.
aren't you gonna do any stand up again? Yeah.
I do it from time to time. It's
Yeah.
not on a priority list. Best way to explain that is when my friend Courtney died, I stopped performing music, as most people know, and
Yeah.
I did comedy for a while, but I'm kind of in this life path right now of more defining myself off stage. Like, I'm very familiar with who I am on stage as a performer, and that's awesome, and that's great, you know. People like my performances, and I'm used to 95% positive feedback and all that kind of stuff, but it's like, it's kind of that whole Zoolander staring into the puddle, who am I, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I kind of want to find myself off stage, and that's kind of where I'm at in life right now.
That's cool. And speaking of offstage, we should probably do a quick recap of the slam details, and then we got to go. We've already hit our time here pretty much. So give us the details again about slam, and yeah, we'll get that going.
Well, sorry we fucked with your tight-ass schedule, Jesse.
No, it's just
Yeah,
now we
I did,
actually
yeah.
have a somewhat of a concise
No, that's
structure.
fine.
So
We're all tired. I'm just being mean. Sorry, your question again?
just go ahead and recap the details for slam, because I really want that to kind of be the main bullet point for this episode, was that we want people to go there because it's a great cause. You're going to get to see Barbie's artwork. You're going to get to hear our band. You're going to get to hang out with Ben. Also for your birthday. This is your birthday weekend,
It
right?
is.
It's your birthday
Yeah.
weekend?
Yeah.
I haven't really been advertising it's my birthday weekend.
Well, I can mention it on my show because you're my friend. So
Are you gonna be 52 or 51?
68.
Oh, okay.
one more year to go, buddy.
I don't give a fuck, man. I'm finally at that sweet age where I can start talking to all the girls that have daddy issues.
Hey, those are the best kind.
Yes. So Slam is the weekend of June 14th and 15th, Friday and Saturday. The Friday show starts about 4 p.m. The Saturday show starts super early. 1 p.m. first band goes on at 2, and then it goes all day and all night.
Cool.
Both shows are all ages and family friendly until 9 p.m. After 9 p.m. it goes to 21 plus only. It will be featuring, as we mentioned, tons of local artists as well as great live bands. Both shows will feature both original and tribute bands. It's a little something for everybody. All of your donations, all of your raffle money, all of your kissing booth money, anything that you put out outside of food and alcohol at this event will be donated directly to Strong Against Cancer.
Yeah.
And pretty much it. If you're gonna go, tell your fucking peoples, man. I mean, I want to blow this thing out. I want it to be the biggest and the best ever. I do every year, and every year is pretty great. But last year we had kind of a extreme circumstance where we were halfway through the event, and the entire goddamn downtown area of Everett went out of power.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's happened. So we
Were
had to
you
clear,
there for that?
I remember it.
We had to clear the entire bar, and I had to load out 4 bands, and it sucked. So this year I'm hoping for no hitches, and we get through the whole. But I'm just really excited. A very nice lady who writes for the A&E section of the Herald is going to do a piece on Slam and do an article. This is actually the second podcast I've done in a week where I get to talk about Slam.
Yeah, what was the other podcast you did? Because I wanted to look it up and listen to it, but I was like,
he says it's going to come out about the 6th or 7th. There's a really rad dude named Caleb, awesome guy.
Oh, you
works
did
in
Only
Oakland.
Everything.
Yeah. And it was me and Natasha Nelson, the art coordinator, and we did that and just had a blast. He's a super cool guy. Yep. His setup's not near as professional as you guys. He literally stuck a fucking microphone into his cell phone, stuck it on a table in the center of the room.
Oh, really?
Which works too, but
that was fun though.
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
I mean, at least this, I like this because the last time I was here, they had a microphone shoved right in my mouth.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Me and Jesse kind of went back and listened to our old stuff, and the quality was kind of shitty.
Yeah, anything from season 1 is a little difficult to listen to at this point.
Well,
but
I don't want to say that. It's always a learning experience, but it was fun because and you and Nick were kissing the entire thing.
We were facing each other, sharing a mic like this. With my knee here, his leg going in this way, then mine, then his. So we were interlocking, and it felt very invasive.
It was super sexy.
Yeah, we didn't
Very
have a camera
sexy.
then, so that was.
Caleb's been wanting to come on and do our show too, and I do want to have him on.
He's a rad guy.
Yeah.
If I may, a couple of quick things, just shout outs I want to do. I always like doing shout outs.
Shout out.
BARBI, you can do shout outs if you want also.
Hi, Mom!
Did you want to give Ken a shout out?
No, you're on timeout.
I got a little
I've never heard that one before.
I was waiting when Nick was going to be Nick. Took him the whole fucking podcast.
I had to bring it up.
You can always count on Nick to be
So
Nick.
let me tell you this one. Why did BARBI dump Ken?
Because he was plastic.
He had no pee-pee.
Because Ken comes in a different box.
Oh!
You guys have not heard that?
I've never heard that one.
No? Wow.
It's
BARBI
actually
told
because
us a
he came
BARBI
in
joke.
a different box. But close enough.
Either way, it still seems like it
But
works.
super quick shout outs.
Yes.
Tony Bearhate, a.k.a. Tony B. Without him, we wouldn't have jobs. We wouldn't have this awesome Slam event. We wouldn't have a lot of shit in downtown Everett. He's the man. He's awesome. So
Cruisin'
big shout out
Colby
to
was
him.
dope too, and he's
Cruisin' Colby was
responsible
awesome,
for
dope.
saving that.
If you guys have not been to Tony B's Garage, what the fuck's wrong with your life? Get over there, check it out. It's an awesome place.
It's like the best music venue in Everett.
It is. Yeah.
It's pretty much and that was going to be my next shout out is some of the local businesses. Black Lab has some really awesome shows going on there. Isabella's awesome. If you're not feeling the giant venue vibe and you just want to get a hometown little room with some rad bands and a bunch of people standing, dude, go to the Black Lab. They got some kick-ass shows happening there too, and I like that we're getting a scene downtown again. I think it's fucking awesome. That's super important. We get more places doing music and entertainment. We actually have a downtown scene, and that's rad.
Yeah.
Very quick shout out. Excuse me, to Steve Bergstrom. I always do. Huge behind the scenes player with Slam. Does a lot of graphics work. Helps me out with a lot of shit. He's kind of my Jiminy Cricket on my shoulder.
Misspelled our band name.
No, Steve didn't do these flyers. That was actually Eric, the singer for the Deftones tribute.
Thanks, Eric.
We just had to poke fun at you
Eric
once for that.
Krakora, thanks for fucking up the band name. It's Pride Fails, not Pride Falls. Although, what's the fucking difference? But anyways,
There really isn't one.
no, I'd feel bad about it, but like I said, this event's just raising money.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I don't think people are reading each band name on the flyer and saying, oh.
No, it's our debut. Most people know that'll be our first show, even if they don't see our name on the flyer.
Well, and once you guys get on stage, you can make that clarification. Like,
Well,
we will.
I think if it was Pride Falls, you could have this cool rainbow waterfall.
Ooh.
That could be a cool thing to do, just on
Next month's Pride Month.
Isn't this Pride weekend right now, or
Is it
June
on
is
Monday?
Pride Month.
June is
June
Pride
is?
Month.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why she said Sunday or Saturday.
Well, I'm wearing my rainbow shirt. What?
And maybe we'll have to change our name for the month of June every year, so that it doesn't sound like Pride events are failing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I hadn't really considered it in that context before.
Oh, and I just want everybody to know in the month of June, just in honor of Pride Month, I'm taking all my gay stuff and going super gay next month for everybody. Just
Super
doing that
gay?
for you guys.
You're
Super
going
gay.
What does that mean?
gay?
Super gay.
Super gay.
That's like with a fucking rainbow cape, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, super gay.
Nice.
Um,
Any other shout outs?
No.
Okay.
Well, I did want to say Steve's band, the Finger Guns, they play Slam every year. They will be there again this year.
On Friday or Saturday?
They're on the Saturday show.
Yep.
Near and dear to my heart. But every single band, every single artist that's showing, every single person that comes out to Slam, some of the surprise things that I've got happening, if you're listening to this, thank you to everybody. I can't actually say one of the surprises because I already talked about it online. This is just one of them. Is I will have in attendance at Slam a bunch of the Seattle superheroes.
Oh, like
that's
Phoenix
right.
Jones and
Yes. Well,
okay.
maybe not Phoenix because he's been kind of out of circulation for a while.
Yeah.
But El Caballero and a few of the others are going to be in attendance. They're going to be
Sweet.
hanging out. Very, very thankful for those guys for doing that. And there's some other things I'm not going to mention.
Yeah.
But suffice to say, got some pretty cool things in store for Slam. I've been, vacation, smaycation. I've actually been doing a lot of behind the scenes, talking to people and getting some stuff set up for this. So,
Yeah.
really excited about that. So fucking guys, the weekend of June 14th, 15th, you might be busy one of those nights, but I doubt you're busy both. If you're in town, go check out this event. Go make your donation. Check out some fucking kick-ass art, some really amazing bands. You're doing something good. You can pay money and kiss a stranger in a kissing booth. You can fucking...
Not me, though.
Yeah.
She asked, I
Barbie.
said no.
Well, you're no fun. I'll do it. I'll be part of the kissing booth.
I think you're one of the people who has to pay, Nick.
That's fine. I'll pay
Yeah.
for myself.
They usually have ladies run the kissing booths
Oh.
because no one wants to kiss you for money. They
Maybe-
don't even want to for free.
You might want to kiss me.
I don't have to pay for that.
Yeah, you do. Any more shout outs?
Nope.
Any more?
Done.
There's none.
Good.
There's none.
Way to kill
Done,
that on
yeah.
just the best note, Nick. Way to make it all about you again. All right. Well, guys, thanks again so much, Barbie and Ben, for coming in. We're definitely going to be hitting up Slam because we're playing it also. Is one last question. Is it 21 and over or is it all
I
ages?
literally
or-
answered that question 10 minutes
He
ago.
did.
Do
I don't
not pay
recall.
attention to any fucking
All
thing I
ages.
said.
After
Till
9
9.
p.m.,
Thank
all
you.
ages.
I got a lot of information thrown
I mean,
at me.
oh,
so-
yes, Jesse, please. I am happy to answer that for you. Well, it's going to be 21 plus after 9 p.m. All ages up until 9 p.m.
All right. All right.
Now, hold on. Well, why is it only 9 p.m.? Why can't it be
Because
24
I have
hours?
deemed it so.
Okay. All right.
Ben saith.
I'm
He
like
said-
Snap.
and so
I've
it
got the
was.
power.
He's got it.
Oh,
Okay.
they know.
Kinda
All
hectic.
right.
It's getting-
We didn't
it's
talk
getting-
about
it's getting
any
kinda
comic
hectic.
book shit today.
We didn't
Well,
talk about any comic book
When
shit.
you come back for like your own solo episode,
No, we
we'll
can do
talk
10 more minutes podcast talk about comic book shit.
Absolutely no Thanos.
No Thanos.
Oh,
I
this
feel
is
like
fun.
you have a crush
No.
on Thanos.
I have to
You
tell
just
the
don't wanna
story.
be-
I want to murder him.
I have to tell the story because it's fun.
Okay.
So, I had seen Infinity War, but I took Barbie because she had not seen it yet.
Okay.
And so, we watched the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and after the credits start to roll, this is literally what happens. Barbie looks at me with a look I've never seen on her face before. I've known her for like fucking 6 years.
Is
like,
it this look now?
No. It's a completely different
Okay.
look. And she looks me dead in the eyes and says, tells me there's an end credit scene. And I'm like, yeah, there is. And she's like, fucking thank God. And
I said, fucking better be.
she was, fucking better be. And she was traumatized by this goddamn movie for like, it's technically kind of still is, but for like, even after Endgame, she's still kind of traumatized by Infinity War. And I thought, hey, I thought maybe she'd think it was cool, that it's a very rare thing in movies of that skill and that
Yeah.
scope that,
Yeah.
hey, the bad guy wins. I mean, in indie films, you see that sometimes.
Yeah.
Not that bad guy.
So it's pretty much a thing now where just Barbie's not a big fan of Thanos. And when we came into the studio, I went to use the restroom
Yep.
and I noticed there was an Infinity Gauntlet comic on the toilet. So I switched it out because I didn't want Barbie to go in there and see a picture of Thanos because it would be #triggered. And that's all.
Triggered.
So you still hate him even after Endgame and seeing how it's all been resolved, and that doesn't
Yes.
make it any
Yeah.
better.
No.
He killed Iron Man. Okay.
He did. Yeah.
In my...
Spoilers.
That's-
I think
If
everyone's
you haven't seen
it
Endgame by
this
now,
point.
Yeah,
fuck
it's
you.
fucking-
You
It's been out
suck.
for a month.
Yeah, it's been out for a month.
My favorite character.
And
Iron Man died.
The first time we talked
Okay,
about
Iron
Thor's
Man's not
fat.
my favorite character.
Hulk is smart.
The first time we talked about Endgame on this show, we put a 2-minute long spoiler warning over the video feed while we were talking to make sure no one got mad. We've covered our asses. We can talk about it all you want.
Thor is the dude, which is the coolest thing ever.
The dude, yep. And then, but seeing Captain
that
America
was funny.
suddenly have Mjolnir, like, I know that was a big fan favorite scene, but just personally also, that was such a moment of triumph.
My
just seeing-
favorite superhero
I actually
sacrificed
knew-
herself,
Oh, Black Widow.
and I cried.
She had that was such an epic sacrifice, and I have a theory that she's not actually dead.
Yeah,
dead.
yeah, I do too.
Because in the comics for Infinity Gauntlet, Gamora, Pip the Troll, and Adam Warlock are in the Soulstone realm. Well, now you've got Gamora and Black Widow in the Soulstone realm, so we could have like Adam Warlock go there and pull them both out of it, making her solo movie not a prequel but a true sequel.
Well, and they also the Ancient told Bruce Banner that you have all these strings of time, and so I don't know if you've seen the preview for Spider-Man: Far From Home, but they're talking about dimensional rifts being open. So really, anybody could return, through either a multiple alternate dimension or through a different timeline.
Yeah.
So Marvel's kind of clever in that regard because it also opens doors for them to introduce, X-Men characters and Fantastic Four characters and stuff like that if they want
Silver
to.
Surfer.
And I think they will, but there's one aspect of that Spider-Man trailer that really makes me wonder if that's really the direction they're going, and that's because it's fucking Mysterio telling him. And he's just notoriously a liar and a showman and stuff. So even though there might be a multiverse, I don't think he's really introducing it on the level, if you know what I mean. Like, I think
I don't
he's playing
think
an
he's
angle here.
from the alternate dimension.
Right,
But we'll
right.
have to see the movie. The thing is, we could theorize about that for hours.
He
It's
looks
fucking
like he's going to
Mysterio.
play that character really good,
Yeah.
I don't dislike Jake Gyllenhaal.
though. Yeah.
I was very fond of him in Brokeback Mountain.
Did you
Donnie
watch that? I
Darko.
watched it.
Donnie Darko. Yep. That's...
I think that's the first thing, like when we actually moved into the house and got settled, one of the first things Barbie said is, "Hey Ben, do you want to watch Brokeback Mountain?" Or what was it? We were talking about movies, so I was like, I got this movie and I got that movie, and Barbie's like, "Did you say you have a copy of Brokeback Mountain?" I can't remember how that came up.
No.
But she was like, "You ought to watch Brokeback Mountain." I don't know. It got brought up.
No, we were in a store, and I think I
Oh yeah.
Oh, you should buy this.
Saw the Brokeback Mountain. There you go.
It's a really well made movie.
Yeah,
it's
well,
uncomfortable
Great
at
movie.
times,
It's
but,
perfect
yeah.
for Ben. That's Ben's movie right there.
Yeah.
That's his go-to
Fuck
movie.
you. I loved it.
I gotta say, I had to watch it with my girlfriend back in high school. It was a pretty,
That movie was out
well-made
when you were in
movie.
high school?
yeah, it's pretty old.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
that much
it's an
younger than
intense
me.
movie.
I'm only
It's
31, bro. I'm not 38 like you.
I'm
Oh,
not 38
snap.
either. 35, asshole.
Sorry.
Well, he just aged you 3 years.
Yep.
And he aged you into your 50s earlier, so.
Don't age Barbie. They'll never find the body.
No, Barbie's still
23.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Same age as you.
Oh, 31. All right.
Yeah.
I'm very upset
She-
that we have something in common.
And that was the best fucking joke of the show so
Yeah,
far.
that,
yes.
that was a good ending.
No, FYI, even though we don't hang out that much, you are like universally like one of me and Barbie's favorite people. Like we both think very highly of you. Not you,
Nick?
Nick. Not you, Nick. Fuck you.
No, I know. I already
Jesse.
knew. I already knew I was out of that equation. I was,
You steal everyone's fucking bagels.
sorry, dude.
Well, I thank you guys. You guys are some of my favorites too. And Ben, I gotta be honest, I've never really told you this to your face, but the first few times I met you back in the midst of autumn days,
You thought you were a dick.
I did not like you, and I thought you really hated me.
I hate everybody. So
Yeah,
you
but
weren't-
I thought
weren't
you were
far off.
genuinely hating me back then.
I don't even remember back then.
Exactly. I don't think you really did in retrospect, but for the first, I don't know, 6 months, and I only saw you now and then, but yeah, I really
Well,
thought
and to
that
be
you had
fair,
a problem
I
with me.
never, especially at that time, because I was building my name as a promoter, and promoter in that time was a bad word, as you know.
Yeah.
So I was working really hard to try to build a good name, but I was never even thinking. I never even went to people's perceptions of me personally mattered. I was so
Yeah.
focused on trying to do what I did well professionally. And I had a lot of people tell me, like, later down the line, like, dude, you gave my first show, or you did this. Jeff Stark. I think you know Jeff Stark is. But anyways, I forgot. This dude's a fucking pretty much local legend at this point. He's like, yeah, you gave me my first show at the Central Saloon. I was like, I didn't remember that shit.
Nice.
I did so much back in those days, in the music
Yeah.
scene. And there's still people this day that are like, dude, that's super cool. I didn't, I was just working.
Yeah.
I didn't know it mattered. And even with Tony B's, I work and I try to be good at my job. And I have a lot of musicians like, dude, I love like your organization. I love, you know, how cool you are to us and blah, blah, blah. I forget sometimes that it matters.
Yeah.
You know,
Is there anything else you want to tell them how you feel?
No. I wasn't even planning on bringing that up, but it's funny how it came up that way. But I really do. These guys are some incredible people. I've loved getting to know them. I wish we could talk more, but our camera's literally going to die if we don't stop this episode here real quick. So,
Ben's gonna kill the camera. Let's hurry up.
No, it's probably at like 6% right now. So,
good. Then I can quickly say, I love BARBI, and
I love BARBI.
Well,
I love Ben. I like
mean,
Nick.
BARBI is basically a huge reason for anybody that actually likes me or whatever, a huge reason I'm even still here. I went through so much tragedy and so much bullshit in my life, and she was like an awesome friend and was super there for me. And so, you know, big shout out.
Hell yeah.
Like, no, seriously, like, you know,
Good job, BARBI.
Yes.
I like some people.
about 3. Jesse, you're one of them.
Tolerable.
Oh, am I intolerable?
She doesn't even like her boyfriend. She loves him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you even like your boyfriend?
Well, I mean, he's not a spider. But...
He's adorable.
He is pretty adorable.
All right, guys. Well, again, thank you both so much for coming on. We're definitely going to check out Slam. I'm definitely going to make sure that people know to check out your artwork too, BARBI.
And haggle her on her prices.
And as is my customary saying for the end of these shows, please have a consensual lick.
Bye.
And I'm going to turn off this little button.
Hit the button.
Oh, it didn't stop yet.
It didn't stop?
There it is.